Hello everyone, how are you? I hope everybody's doing well. Today we take a look at Lenovo Yoga 910. Alright, the one we are looking at together is spec'd out of the factory with Core i7, 7th generation, which is sporting the Kaby Lake Intel processor 7500U Ultra. And clock speed comes in at 2.7 gigahertz, and it's a dual core computer. And on board, I have 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, which is semi unusual, right? You would see DDR3, but this unit does come with the DDR4. Like I said earlier, it has 16 gigabytes of RAM. Hard drive wise, it has a solid state NVMe PCIe 1 terabyte drive, and the screen itself, just a stunningly gorgeous screen, is a 13.9 inch ultra high definition 4K. The screen is just stupid nice. It is also a touch screen. You can also opt out for 1080p non-touch screen. 1080p screen as well, which would extend your battery life and other things. So with that said, let's take a look at it. So the Yoga line, since its introduction, has been very interesting, and over all the iterations and versions that it's had so far, it really does seem like it's been progressing along nicely. For instance, like this 910, precision cut aluminum chassis. I mean, there is no flex on the base. There is very minimal flex up at the top lid, and where the palm pad is, there's just no flex, and it's just a solid piece of equipment, just really well designed, well engineered. Not personally a huge fan of this bezel design, which I don't know, whatever floats your boat. I guess this type of it almost looks like men's watch band. But I guess this sort of design allows a little bit more sturdiness when the laptop goes into different positions that it works with, right? So the Yogas come, you can use it as a laptop, you can flip it all the way, you can use it as a tablet, you can have it as a tent, and there's another position that you could set it with. So with that said, next month, which will be April 2017, they have a new Yoga coming out, Yoga 720, which so far everything that I've seen is really nice. So I would love to get my hands on that one, but for now, this 910 seems like a real solid laptop. So as far as the dimension wise, it's a 12.72 inches this way, 8.84 inches deep, and then thickness wise, it's a 0.56 inches thick. Basically, it is the size of a your normal typical 13 inch laptop. The weight wise, it's 3 pounds. Just, having all this computing power in this lightweight package with that type of screen, I think we're just all spoiled. I can remember the days when, let's not talk about the past. The laptops used to be stupid, big, thick, heavy, cumbersome, not all that fast, when portability was the main point. But right now, you don't have to sacrifice. We live in the age where you don't have to sacrifice anything. And even with this spec, the price was not all that bad. So with that, let's talk about the individual point of this laptop. The 13.9 inch screen, like I said earlier, is just bright, it's crisp, and it's just perfect for any sort of a media consumption, your day-to-day, everyday productivity work. As you can see, it is glossy, it is reflective, but with the touch screen, you get that just kind of goes along with it, right? As far as the audio is concerned, it has a JBL premium sound, so it's bottom firing both edges of the bass. It's reasonable, there's no bass, doesn't get fizzy or hissy, so it's just serviceable. So if you're just working away and you want to have some ambient music at a reasonable volume, you're just kind of working along, fine. So not obviously, no one in right mind would expect any kind of audiophile grade audio speakers out of a laptop, especially in this size. And then keyboard wise, it's a very familiar looking, the Lenovo Island chiclet style keyboard. Couple problems. Okay, so the keyboards, the buttons, the keys themselves, they are tactile. The feedback is great. It has a neutral response, which is good, so it's not mushy or overly springy. However, I have a little bit of problem. So if you can see, the backspace key is conjoined with the enter key. Of course, one does not suppress the other, but they are really too close. So there is no visual separation there. And the right shift key is cut in half. Of course, so that allows a couple of things. So the right shift key being cut like that would allow your up arrow key in a reverse T position. So if you look at like the MacBook Pro, you will have this key right here cut in half to have the up and down, and it will extend that shift key all the way in its full size. Now, I don't know which is worse. I like having the full-size arrow key in the reverse T formation, but also every now and then I notice when I type with that shift key being cut in half, every now and then as I'm typing, I reach for that shift key, but instead I'm hitting the page up. So that's a bit of a, I guess I'm being nitpicky. So with that, and then the chiclet keyboard, the keys themselves, I think they could have made them slightly bigger with slightly less gap between the buttons. But again, maybe I'm being a little nitpicky. But for touch typists, still no problem. Generally, you can type comfortably all day long. Again, the right shift key to me was a issue every now and then. Now, the trackpad, it's reasonable size. I don't find myself confined. The feedback, the tracking, oh, stellar. Probably one of the best trackpads I've ever had to use on a Windows-based laptop. It is almost like MacBooks and MacBook Pros. Of course, you don't get the size of the MacBook trackpad, but it is a Synaptics based, and it is a extremely smooth, well tracking trackpad. Absolutely no problem, and the clicks are very satisfying, and basically it gets out of the way. When you are working, what you don't want to do is feel and notice that the trackpad is getting in the way of your working. To me, when it doesn't feel like it's there, that's the best, where it's just harmoniously working with things that I'm doing to the trackpad and with the trackpad. The battery is a 4-cell battery, 75 watts, and it sits like right around here. And with my 4K screen, with the brightness jacked up, Wi-Fi, occasional YouTubing, email processing, basically general day-to-day work stuff, I get about slightly here under 6 hours. If I bring down the brightness just a tad, I could go over 6 hours. So it doesn't quite last all day on a work day, but it is reasonable. And what I do like is the power charger is pretty tiny, no huge brick or anything. I do wish the two prongs would somehow either go in or fold down or whatever, so they're not just sticking out. So that's again, maybe I'm being a little too nitpicky here, but with the reasonable battery life and with the reasonable size power charger, no problem. Let's see, the charger itself is a 45 watts, and as far as the thermal and heat dissipation, you do get a little bit warmer down here, right here. Even right now I can feel it's not terrible, it's all right. You could do it could get hotter with other laptops. So this is completely reasonable to have on the lap while working, no problem. I do see my batteries running low. That's going to be a problem. So if this video gets abruptly cut, you know why happened. All right, so junkware, you do get a little bit of a Lenovo stuff, like the Lenovo Photo Manager and like customer experience connector or whatever. Easy to remove, but I wish things like that could have come without. And then, so I'll continuously look at the battery indicator because I am running low. Let's talk about the pros. So there's a lot just tons to like about this laptop. Like I said earlier, because of the build quality, it is substantial while being lightweight. There's a lot of substance to hold on to, and it's just solid. The thin bezel, which is about hair over quarter-inch on the either side and the top, allows you, this is 13.9 inches of glorious screen, and it just gives you tons of real estate space without increasing the dimension of the laptop. So that is a big, huge upside. It's lightweight, it's flexible in terms of all the positions that it offers you because it is 360 degrees convertible form factor. The traditional Lenovo keypad, of course, is just spot on. It's on point. And it's a little bit of personal pet peeve, but the reverse T arrow keys, again, it's both a blessing and it's damning at the same time. And then what I don't like about this laptop, not a ton to dislike about the laptop, but because of the thin bezel up at the top, the front-facing webcam, which you use for Skype and what have you, it is on the bezel on the base of the screen. So what does that do? When you have the laptop in this position and you're engaging into a video call, what happens? The camera is so low, it is actually shooting directly at your chin, going up through the nostril. So it is not the optimum position, and that is just really unfortunate. But based on the bezel situation and everything, perhaps, maybe I wish they could have actually increased the bezel thickness here and move the webcam here and bring the screen down, having less of this huge, about 1 inch of the bezel depth here. So that, and we'll talk about the ports, but basically what you get is you don't get the Thunderbolt port or SD card reader, and no display out. Again, those are the compromises you're going to make when you get an Ultrabook with this size. So you get the USB-C 3.0 charge here, general USB-C 3.0 here, nothing else. Of course, you're not going to have anything on the bezel side, and onto the right you get the legacy USB-A type of port, which is great. So you don't have to start your dongle life like the MacBook Pro out of the box. Audio and power, so streamlined, minimal. You do sacrifice a little bit of port, but it seems to be the latest trend. But you're not dongle life right out of the gate, because you do get the legacy USB port. And if you do have to have a display, external display, you could go with this port right here, but that will require you to have a dongle adapter and everything. So with that said, I'll wrap this review up, and I'll see you next time. Until then, everyone take care.